Lita, watching other people become incredibly rich and successful on the internet is completely inspiring, yes. But standing in front of the strict, bald manager to give a massive, important presentation and watching your heavy computer completely die and smoke is an absolute terrible failure.
Your heavy computer actually started smoking during a presentation? Hello everyone, and welcome to a completely disastrous, very ambitious episode of the English Unscripted podcast. I am Lita.
And I am Sam, and today, guys, we're talking about the crazy pressure of achieving massive success, the terrible pain of failing in front of your boss, and why sometimes you just have to eat heavy black brick bread and try again tomorrow.
Exactly. Eat your heavy bread and try again. We are dividing this successful journey into 3 exciting chapters today. First, we will talk about terrible office presentations and failing in public. Then, in Chapter 2, we dive into the crazy, impossible goals we set for ourselves. And finally, Chapter 3 is all about pretending to be a highly successful, rich adult when you actually have zero money.
3 chapters of pure failure therapy. But wait, Lita, before I tell you how my hot laptop completely destroyed my career goals, we have a very important winter mission for our amazing listeners today.
Oh yes, it is challenge time, guys. What is the big winter clothing strategy for our language learners today, Sam?
Listeners, if you truly want to build a warm, highly successful English brain, you absolutely cannot just wear one thin shirt and listen to this conversation one single time. You have to treat this podcast exactly like layering your warm clothes for a freezing winter storm.
A freezing winter storm. I love wearing warm, soft clothes, Sam. How does the clothing method actually work for learning new vocabulary?
Well, the very first time you play the video, you just put on a light, comfortable base shirt. You listen to my terrible failure, and you just get used to the fun story. But the second time, you put on the heavy winter sweater and your bright yellow banana jacket. You pause the video, you carefully layer the heavy vocabulary words on top of each other, and you repeat them out loud until you are completely warm and fluent.
Yes, layer the heavy vocabulary words, guys. Wear your bright yellow jackets. So Sam, tell me about your completely smoking computer. Did you actually try to show a successful, brilliant project to the strict bald manager?
I honestly tried to be a highly successful corporate star, Lita. I wanted to get a completely perfect score at my job, exactly like trying to get a very high CGPA at a strict university. So I designed a massive, beautiful presentation about my green potato alien art. I walked into the cold meeting room wearing my yellow banana jacket, I smiled with my big teeth, and I opened my heavy workstation laptop.
Oh no, a heavy workstation laptop. Sam, those massive machines get incredibly hot when you open too many pictures. Did the bald manager actually look at your green potato alien?
He tried to look at it, Lita, but the heavy laptop immediately started making a loud, angry airplane noise. It got so incredibly hot that it completely turned off. The digital screen went totally black, and a tiny bit of gray smoke came right out of the keyboard. The entire presentation was an absolute, completely embarrassing flop.
Wait, Sam, let us pause your smoking, completely embarrassing failure right there. I think that's a wonderfully disastrous, highly useful vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Flop.
Yes, flop. It's an excellent B1 noun that describes a new movie, a special product, or a big presentation that is completely unsuccessful and fails very, very badly, like a massive corporate presentation that becomes a terrible flop because your heavy laptop starts smoking.
Listeners, please practice this completely unsuccessful, failing word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Cool down your hot computers.
Flop.
Flop. It was the absolute biggest flop of my entire corporate life, Lita. I honestly wanted to hide directly inside my yellow jacket, and that actually makes me very curious about our successful listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Listeners, we have our first very honest, completely failing question for you right now. When you try to do something very brave and successful, what is the absolute worst, most embarrassing flop you've ever experienced? Did you fall down during a big public speech or maybe burn a special holiday dinner?
Tell us your absolute worst failure secrets in the comments down below. We desperately need to know that Sam is not the only adult making his computer smoke. So, Lita, do you want to know exactly what the bald manager told me to do with my broken machine?
I absolutely want to know, Sam. Please do not tell me he made you eat your heavy black brick bread in the dark as a terrible punishment for the gray smoke.
He was completely furious, Lita. He looked at the gray smoke, he looked at my bright yellow banana jacket, and his shiny head turned completely red. He pointed his finger at the door and yelled, "Sam, I want you to throw this terrible machine directly in the trash outside, and then I want you to clean the entire meeting room."
Wait a minute, guys. Listeners, I have a fantastic native secret for you right here. Did you hear how Sam just pronounced the words want to? He sounded incredibly slow and formal, like an angry king punishing a very lazy servant.
Oh no, did I sound completely heavy and dramatic again, Lita? I thought want to was a perfectly correct, polite way to explain how extremely angry the strict bald manager actually was.
It is absolutely perfect if you're writing a very serious academic essay, Sam, but when native speakers are talking very fast or when we're casually throwing smoking computers in the street, we almost never say want to. We smash the two words completely together and just say wanna.
Oh yes, wanna. I wanna see you throw it. I wanna eat my black bread. That sounds so much faster and wonderfully natural, Lita. It completely shows how fast the bald manager was screaming directly at my face.
Exactly. Try using wanna when you're talking quickly about a strong desire or something you demand to happen, guys. It's a brilliant secret trick to make your casual spoken English sound perfectly fluent and extremely relaxed. So, Sam, did you actually throw the heavy workstation away in the dirty trash?
I completely lied to him, Lita. I took the hot computer into the cold bathroom, I blew the gray smoke away with my mouth, and I hid the expensive machine safely inside my bag. I'm never, ever doing a successful corporate presentation again.
Oh, that is absolutely a very smart, safe decision, Sam. Failing in front of a strict boss is completely terrifying, but honestly, failing at the corporate office is just one tiny piece of our crazy human lives. The absolute worst, most ridiculous part of success is the completely impossible, crazy goals we set for ourselves in our private lives, which brings us perfectly to Chapter 2 of our ambitious journey today. Listeners, put down your smoking computers and grab a small notebook, because we're going to dive into the absolute nightmare of forcing yourself to wake up at 4 in the morning, trying to exercise every single day, and why making crazy daily goals is the absolute fastest way to completely fail.
Lita, hiding a smoking, heavy workstation computer in a bathroom is completely embarrassing, yes, but deciding to completely change your entire human life on a Sunday night and planning to wake up at exactly 4 in the morning to become highly successful is absolute torture.
Waking up at 4 in the dark morning? Oh wow, Sam, that is a terrible, painful goal. Nobody wants to see the dark, freezing sky. Why did you try to wake up that early?
I honestly wanted to be a completely perfect, highly successful adult, Lita. I wrote a massive list of crazy morning goals. I wanted to run 5 long miles, drink 4 heavy liters of cold water, and completely finish my difficult C programming homework before breakfast. I put on my bright yellow banana jacket, but my tired brain was completely confused, and I did a lot of terrible mistakes.
Wait, Sam. You did a lot of terrible mistakes? The strict English grammar police are throwing your heavy goal list in the trash right now. You absolutely never do a mistake in English, my tired friend. You make a mistake. You made a lot of terrible mistakes. Made.
Oh, right. Thank you, Officer Lita. I made so many terrible mistakes. My freezing brain completely forgot the basic verbs because I was drinking way too much cold water in the dark living room. Setting all those heavy goals at the exact same time was a complete massive failure.
Wait, Sam, let us pause your completely failing dark morning right there. I think that is a wonderfully smart, highly practical vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Realistic.
Yes, realistic. It is an excellent B1 adjective that describes a smart goal, a daily plan, or a big idea that you can actually achieve in your normal human life without completely destroying your sleep or going totally crazy, like setting a realistic goal to wake up at 7 instead of 4 in the dark morning.
Listeners, please practice this completely practical, smart word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Stop setting crazy, impossible goals.
Realistic.
Realistic. My crazy list was absolutely not realistic, Lita. I honestly just wanted to go back to my warm bed and eat my hard black brick bread. And that actually makes me very curious about our ambitious listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Listeners, we have our second, very ambitious, completely failing question for you right now. When you feel incredibly motivated on a Sunday night, what is the absolute craziest, most impossible goal you always write down and immediately fail the very next morning? Is it exercising every single day? Or maybe never eating sweet sugar again?
Tell us your absolute worst crazy goals in the comments down below. We desperately need to know that Sam is not the only adult completely failing his morning run. So, Lita, do you want to know exactly what happened when I opened my heavy front door to start running in the dark?
I absolutely want to know, Sam. Please do not tell me you ran directly into a heavy, dark streetlight with your sleepy eyes.
I absolutely did not even make it to the streetlight, Lita. I opened the heavy wooden door, feeling incredibly brave and successful in my bright yellow banana jacket. But it was completely freezing outside. The cold winter wind immediately hit my warm face. A crazy neighborhood cat screamed loudly at my bright yellow jacket, and I was so completely shocked that I dropped my heavy water bottle directly on my own foot.
Oh no! A screaming street cat and a broken foot in the freezing dark, Sam? That is not a successful morning routine at all. That is a terrible, painful survival movie. You survived exactly 10 seconds of your massive human goals before you completely gave up.
10 seconds was absolutely enough for me, Lita. The angry cat completely destroyed my big corporate dreams. I looked at the dark sky, my foot was hurting so incredibly much, and I just felt completely beaten by the universe.
Wait, Sam, let us pause your completely frozen broken foot right there. I think that is a wonderfully sad, highly emotional vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Defeated.
Yes, defeated. It is an excellent B1 adjective that describes feeling completely beaten, incredibly sad, and totally unsuccessful because you tried to do something very difficult and failed immediately, like feeling completely defeated by a screaming neighborhood cat and a cold morning.
Listeners, please practice this completely sad, failing word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Stay inside your warm houses.
Defeated.
Defeated. I felt so incredibly defeated, Lita. I honestly just locked the heavy wooden door, walked straight back to my warm bedroom, and slept until 9 in the morning. I'm officially a complete morning failure.
Oh, that is absolutely a completely normal human failure, Sam. But honestly, failing in the freezing dark where nobody can see you is just a tiny private problem. The absolute worst, most embarrassing part of modern success is trying to completely fake it for the internet, which brings us perfectly to the third and final chapter of our ambitious journey today. Listeners, put down your heavy water bottles and hide your completely empty bank accounts because we're going to dive into the absolute madness of renting expensive sports cars for cheap photos, pretending to eat fancy holiday dinners, and why looking highly successful on your smartphone is actually completely exhausting.
Lita, running away from a freezing street cat is completely embarrassing, yes, but going on the internet and seeing everyone buying massive houses, wearing expensive watches, and flying in private airplanes is an absolute psychological nightmare. It makes you feel completely poor and highly unsuccessful.
The terrible, heavy internet pressure, Sam. Oh, wow. Everyone on a digital screen looks exactly like a secret millionaire. Did you actually try to look incredibly rich and successful for a fake smartphone picture?
I completely tried to be a fake internet millionaire, Lita. I honestly wanted everyone to think my smoking computer was just a tiny, normal problem for a rich man. So I put on my bright yellow banana jacket and I walked to a highly expensive sports car shop in the busy city. I gave a tired man exactly $10 just to let me sit inside a bright red sports car for one single minute.
Wait, what? You paid real human money just to sit inside a completely parked car? Sam, that is not a successful, rich lifestyle. That is just an incredibly sad, very fake photo. Did you actually drive the beautiful machine?
I absolutely did not have the keys, Lita. The tired man was watching me very closely. I was just sitting on the beautiful, clean, white leather seats, holding my heavy black bread brick in the air to look like a busy, hungry businessman. I smiled with my big teeth at the camera, and I tried to completely pretend that I owned the expensive red machine.
Wait, Sam, let us pause your completely fake parked sports car right there. I think that is a wonderfully fake, highly acting vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Pretend.
Yes, pretend. It is an excellent B1 verb that means to behave exactly as if something is completely true when you absolutely know that it is not true at all. Like sitting in a parked car with hard bread and trying to pretend you are a highly successful millionaire.
Listeners, please practice this completely fake acting word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Stop faking your internet photos.
Pretend.
Pretend. I was completely pretending to be a rich corporate hero, Lita. I honestly just wanted one single successful internet picture to feel better about my broken computer. And that actually makes me very curious about our digital listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Listeners, we have our third and final very fake question for you right now. When you look at crazy social media photos, what is the absolute funniest, most ridiculous thing you have ever seen someone do to pretend they are completely rich and successful? Is it carrying an empty, expensive shopping bag or maybe standing next to a complete stranger's big house?
Tell us your absolute worst fake success secrets down in the comments below. We desperately need to know that Sam is not the only adult paying $10 for a sad car photo. So, Lita, do you want to know exactly who walked past the bright red car while I was pretending with my heavy bread?
I desperately need to know, Sam. Please do not tell me it was the tired man asking for more human money.
It was absolutely not the tired man, Lita. I was holding my heavy black bread, smiling like a completely rich hero, and the strict, bald manager walked directly past the open car window. He looked at my bright yellow banana jacket, he looked at my hard bread, and he completely stopped walking.
Oh no, the bald manager caught you in the fake car. What did he actually say to his fake millionaire employee?
He just stood there for 10 entire seconds, Lita, and then he said, Sam, if you can actually afford a beautiful red sports car, you can definitely afford to buy a brand new workstation computer for the office tomorrow morning. I felt so incredibly humiliated. I honestly just wanted to hide under the clean white leather seat.
Wait, Sam, let us pause your completely fake hiding millionaire right there. I think that is a wonderfully embarrassing, highly emotional vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Humiliated.
Yes, humiliated. It is an excellent B1 adjective that describes feeling completely ashamed, incredibly embarrassed, and totally stupid because someone saw you doing a very foolish thing in public, like feeling absolutely humiliated when your strict boss catches you pretending to own an expensive red car.
Listeners, please practice this completely embarrassing red word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Stop renting expensive cars.
Humiliated.
Humiliated. I was officially the most humiliated fake millionaire in the entire city, Lita. I honestly just ran away from the car and ate my heavy bread on the street.
You are an absolute disaster, Sam. A completely failed presenter, a terrible morning runner, and a humiliated fake millionaire. But honestly, real human success is not about looking rich on the internet. It's about committing to getting completely better every single day.
Oh, yes. Listeners, trying to learn a completely new language can feel exactly like a terrible flop sometimes.
Exactly. But if you want to completely master your vocabulary and finally sound like a real, successful native speaker, you absolutely need to make a strong daily commitment.
Do not run away from your heavy vocabulary goals, guys. Make a completely solid commitment to your English success right now by smashing that shiny subscribe button completely down below.
Your daily subscription is your official, real commitment to absolute language success, guys. Thank you so much for completely failing and laughing with us today. Please do not rent expensive red cars for your digital photos, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone. Go buy a new computer.